This is Chris McDaniels. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris McDaniels, and follow me on all my social media accounts. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Night of Champions 2025 review. So here we go, discussing about Night of Champions. So yeah, we get to the first match of the night. It was Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. So yeah, this is the first match of the night. And this match, it was a really good one. Both of these guys going at it. During this match, we see Orton pretty much, like, storyline-wise, he injured his back by doing that superplex on a Cody, which was, like, costing him the match pretty much in a way. And yeah, there was a couple of times that Randy almost picked up the win. Like, he had RKO onto Cody. He pinned him. 1, 2. Cody kicked out at 2. Cody hit the crossroads on Randy. He pinned him. 1, 2. Randy kicked out at 2. So yeah, it was just going back and forth between these two guys. And then at the end, at one point, we actually see Randy about to set up a punt kick onto Cody, but then he starts hesitating because, you know, they're friends and all that stuff. But then he hiked himself up, and then he went ahead and was trying to deliver the punt kick onto Cody, but Cody moves out the way, and then he was doing beating down Orton as well. But then he tries to hit the disaster kick onto Orton, but then Orton catches him in the air, hitting the RKO on Cody. He pinned him. 1, 2. Cody barely kicked out at 2. Orton couldn't believe it. So then at the ending, we see Randy doing some heel tactics by grabbing a steel chair, and then the referee grabbing it out of his hands, and he's putting it up. But while the referee's distracted by putting up the steel chair, we see Randy exposing the turnbuckle, and then he tries to hit the RKO on Cody, but then Cody runs him into the exposed turnbuckle chest first, like pushing him away, and then Cody hits the crossroads onto Randy, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3, picking up the win. And yeah, Cody Rhodes defeats Randy Orton tonight in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament, and now he is going to SummerSlam to either face John Cena or CM Punk for the undisputed WWE Championship. So yeah, that's what happened there. Great match. But then after the match ended, we see Byron Saxton coming into the ring, interviewing Cody Rhodes because he done won the King of the Ring tournament. So yeah, and he starts thanking Randy Orton. He got pretty much his back turned, and Orton just turns around, just staring at him, like giving him that evil look. And yeah, he was thanking Randy Orton. He says that Randy's going to come back to Saudi Arabia pretty soon. So yeah, that's what he was saying there. Then he says that he got to do anything that he got to do to get back to his spot and go on. And either if it's John Cena or CM Punk, he says that he's going to win the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. So yeah, that's what Cody Rhodes said. Pretty good promo from Cody, and Randy didn't look too happy. So yeah, but for that match, I'll give it 4 stars. That's why I'll give it a great match between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes right there. Great match between them two guys. Definitely can't wait to see another match between them. But I liked how Orton was playing with the injury and doing some heel tactics during this match. And it seems like he's going to be turning heel pretty soon. But yeah, pretty good match. But yeah, there's still more stuff to come later on tonight on Night of Champions. But it looks like up next we're going to be seeing Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. We're going to be seeing the WWE Championship on the line between John Cena and CM Punk, and much more. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Night of Champions. See you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on Night of Champions, we get to the next match of the night. It was Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. So yeah, we get to this match. In this match, it was a pretty good one. Both of these women was beating the hell out of each other. At one point, we see like Rhea Ripley grabbing the that top piece of the announce table and placing it like onto the barricades in the timekeeper's area. But then it costs her because she actually gets powerbombed through that thing in the timekeeper's area. So yeah, that's what happened there. Rhea was trying to do everything that she could do to try to beat down Raquel, but Raquel kept on coming back a lot of times in this one. And then at one point, they actually set up a table up on the top turnbuckle. So yeah, there's a table on the top turnbuckle, and Rhea's beating the hell out of Raquel, kicking her upside the head and everything. She grabs Raquel, brings her up there on top of the table on the top turnbuckle, grabs her and sets her up, and then she manages to hit the riptide off of there onto Raquel, pinning her for the 3 count. So yeah, Rhea Ripley defeated Raquel Rodriguez in the street fight tonight at Night of Champions. That's what happened there. Pretty good street fight. Not going to lie, I was expecting Roxanne Perez to possibly come out and help Raquel pick up the win, but that did not happen. I don't even think we've seen her at all coming out there. So yeah, that's what happened there. But Rhea Ripley defeats Raquel Rodriguez in the street fight, which was a pretty good match. For that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. I did like that Riptide spot off the top of the table on the top turnbuckle. That spot was pretty cool. But yeah, pretty good match right there. And yeah, still to come later on tonight, we're going to be seeing John Cena defending the WWE Championship against CM Punk in the main event. We got the Queen of the Ring tournament finals as well later on tonight. But next will be Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross one-on-one up next on Night of Champions. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing to happen on Night of Champions, we get to the next match of the night. It was Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett at ringside in a one-on-one match. So yeah, we get to this match, and this match, it was a pretty good one. Both of these guys beating the hell out of each other, going back and forth and everything. Sami was trying to do everything that he could do to try to pick up the win during this match. At one point, he actually hits the Exploder Suplex onto Karrion Kross in the corner, and then he was setting up for a Helluva Kick, but then Kross counters the Helluva Kick into the Kross Jacket, locking on that sleeper hold, and almost made Sami Zayn pass out. I like how they brought back that thing where they like lift up the hand and drop it down 3 times. Yeah, they lifted Sami's hand up 2 times, dropped it down, and they picked it up for the 3rd time, but then Sami was still fighting back and everything, but then Kross had a Kross hammer, Kross Jacket still locked on and all that stuff, and Sami manages to fight out of it. But then Kross starts getting the upper hand once again at the ending, has Sami in the corner, hitting a bunch of clotheslines onto him, calling him a liar and telling him that he knew that meant the truth. So yeah, that's what Kross was doing. Just kept on running back and forth, hitting clotheslines onto Sami in the corner. But then he runs back to the corner, trying to set up for another clothesline onto him. But then Sami followed him, hitting the Helluva Kick onto Kross, pinning him for the 3 count, picking up the win. So yeah, Sami Zayn defeated Karrion Kross tonight in a one-on-one match at Night of Champions. Pretty good match though. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars as well. I'll give it. The crowd was really loving Sami when he came out, and they did pretty good with Kross coming out there too. So yeah, pretty good match though. And yeah, there's still more matches to come later on tonight, like 3 more matches. Later on tonight in the main event, John Cena versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship. Asuka versus Jade Cargill in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. But up next, we'll be seeing Jacob Fatu defending the United States Championship up against Solo Sikoa one-on-one up next on Night of Champions. So yeah, that match is up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing to happen on Night of Champions, we get to the next match of the night. It was the United States Champion Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa one-on-one for the United States Championship. So yeah, we get to this match, and this match, it was a pretty good one. Both of these guys beating the hell out of each other, coming up near falls a lot of times in this match. But then at one point, we actually see JC Mateo come running down there, distracting Jacob Fatu and the referee. So yeah, the referee was distracted by JC Mateo, and Jacob Fatu was up there on the top turnbuckle, about to take out Solo. But then we see the return of Tonga Loa. He comes over there sweeping Jacob's feet from underneath them, and Jacob hitting the top turnbuckle, and then Tonga Loa hits a swinging neck breaker onto Jacob Fatu off the top turnbuckle. He quickly rolled out. Solo goes for the pin. 1, 2. Jacob barely kicking out at 2. So yeah, Jacob still has some life in him, but then Jacob starts fighting back and everything, countering the Samoan Spike from Solo Sikoa. And then at one point, we actually see Jacob Fatu running and jumping over the top rope onto Tonga Loa and JC Mateo, hitting a moonsault onto them. He gets back into the ring, and he hits the moonsault off the top turnbuckle onto Solo. But then the referee was distracted once again by Jason Mateo and Tonga Loa. So while the referee was distracted, Jacob is pinning Solo, but then all of a sudden he gets drugged out the ring by Hikuleo. Hikuleo makes his WWE debut on the main roster. He's been signed with the company for a little while now. He makes his debut on the main roster, pulling Jacob Fatu out of the ring, breaking up that pin. He grabs Jacob by the throat, and he chokeslams him on the announce table. The table doesn't break. He grabs Jacob, throws him back into the ring. Solo grabs him, and then he hits the Samoan Spike onto Jacob Fatu, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3, picking up the win. So yeah, Solo Sikoa defeated Jacob Fatu tonight, and he is the new United States Champion. That's what happened there. Pretty good match between those two guys. Really liked it. It was a really good one. for that match, I'll give it 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good match, and not only that, we got the return of the infamous Tangaloa. Obviously, I mean that's a real tribal chief. Screw Roman Reigns, screw Solo. That's the real tribal chief right there. And we got the debut of Hikuleo, which they didn't say his name as Hikuleo. They just said like this is Tamatonga's and Tangaloa's older brother or something like that. So yeah, they didn't say his name, so it seems like he's going to get a name change by SmackDown rolling around. So yeah, that's what happened there. Hikuleo makes his debut and costing Jacob Fatu the United States Championship tonight. Like I said, that match, I give it 3.5 stars. That's why I give it a pretty good one. But yeah, up next we're going to be seeing Jade Cargill versus Asuka in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament up next. And later on tonight in the main event, John Cena versus CM Punk for the undisputed WWE Championship. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Night of Champions. See you guys later. Till then. So, the next thing that happened on Night of Champions, we get to the next match of the night. It was Jade Cargill versus Asuka in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. So yeah, we get to this match. And this match, it was pretty decent for the most part. Asuka was picked up the win a couple times. Like at one point, she actually locked on the Asuka lock onto Jade. Jade was trying to fight out of it and everything, but then rolls through with a pin, getting a 2 count out of that. But then Asuka starts picking up the pace once again, taking control of this match, going after her knee and everything. And Jade Cargill, and she kicks Jade upside the head. But then she was trying to hit her finish move, the Empress Impact, onto Jade. But then Jade reversed it by catching Asuka during the move, and then picks her up, hitting Jaded onto Asuka, pinning her for the 3 count. So yeah, Jade Cargill defeated Asuka tonight in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. So yeah, Jade Cargill is now Queen of the Ring. So yeah, pretty decent match. But then after that match ended, we see Byron Saxton coming in there, and we see the Raw General Manager Adam Pearce and the SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis coming in there, giving the crown to Jade Cargill. And then Byron Saxton gets in there interviewing Jade Cargill, asking her about SummerSlam and all that. And she says that, she's been fighting through the booze and fighting through everything. So yeah, that's what she was saying there. And she says that pretty much the storm is coming at SummerSlam when she goes after her women's championship. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, Jade Cargill is going after the women's championship at SummerSlam now. But yeah, for that match between Jade Cargill and Asuka, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty decent match. So yeah, that's why I'll give that match. But yeah, looks like up next it'll be the main event. It'll be John Cena versus CM Punk for the undisputed WWE Championship in the main event of Night of Champions. So yeah, that will be the next match of the night, and that'll be the final match. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So, the next thing that happened on Night of Champions, it was the main event. It was the undisputed WWE Champion John Cena versus CM Punk 1-on-1 for the undisputed WWE Championship in the main event of Night of Champions. So yeah, we get to this match, and this match, it was a pretty good one. It was back and forth and everything. We see Cena hitting a couple of attitude adjustments on the Punk. Punk kept on kicking out too. At one point, he actually hits the go to sleep onto Cena. Cena barely kicked out at 2. But then we start getting towards the ending of this match when we see Punk picking up Cena up on his shoulders to try to hit another go to sleep. But then Cena quickly got off his shoulders, and then he was trying to hit a shoulder block onto Punk, but Punk moved out of the way, so he accidentally hits the referee, knocking the referee out of the ring. And then that's when CM Punk picks up Cena, hitting the go to sleep onto Cena. He was pinning him after the fact, but obviously the referee's knocked out. Well, then, all of a sudden, we see Mr. Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman coming down because, obviously, Seth Rollins wants to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. CM Punk is inside the ring, and Cena is out of the ring. And then we see Seth giving Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed the signal. They get into the ring, and they start attacking CM Punk, beating him down. Punk starts fighting back, managing to knock both of them out of the ring. He jumps over the top rope with a crossbody onto both guys, but almost took himself out, really. And then after that, we see Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed hit a double chokeslam onto CM Punk through the announce table, laying him out. And then Seth was ready to cash in the briefcase. He's already in the ring, so he starts calling down a referee. And then we see a referee come running down the ramp, about to get into the ring, but then he gets laid out by Cena outside of the ring. Cena gets back into the ring. He's face to face with Seth Rollins. Rollins trying to hit him with the briefcase, but Cena ducks it, picks him up on his shoulders, hitting the attitude adjustment onto Seth Rollins. And then after that, we see Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed getting back into the ring, attacking Cena, beating him down. And then Penta comes out there, and then we see Braun Breaker getting out of the ring, and he's dealing with Penta outside of the ring, laying him out on the ramp. And then Sami Zayn comes out there, and then Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker's brawling, but they're off the ramp, pretty much off the stage right there. And then that's when Penta jumps off the stage with a crossbody onto Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn taking both guys out. And then we see Bronson Reed up there on the top turnbuckle about to hit the tsunami onto Cena, but then Punk comes up pushing Bronson Reed off the top turnbuckle, and then that's when Cena hits the attitude adjustment onto Bronson Reed, laying him out. And then we see Cena and Punk staring at each other in this, and then they actually both give each other a hug. And then you can see Cena's face. He's about to turn on him, and then he tries to kick Punk in the stomach, but then Punk, catches him, and then he picks him up, trying to hit the go to sleep, but then Cena pushes him away, and then Seth hits Punk in the head with the briefcase, and then he actually hits the curb stomp onto Punk, laying him out. Cena grabs Rollins and tosses him over the top rope, and he goes for the pin on the CM Punk, and the referee came back into the ring, counting the pin for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, John Cena defeated CM Punk tonight to retain the undisputed WWE Championship. That's what happened there. Pretty good match. For the match and everything that happened during the match, I'll give it all 4 stars as well. Give it for match of the night, I probably gotta say was Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. That match was great, but the main event was great as well. Tonight's Night of Champions, it was a pretty good show. We had Hikuleo debut, the infamous Tongaloa returning, which was obviously amazing right there, and pretty good show actually. So yeah, for Night of Champions, I'll give it 9 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, that has been my WWE Night of Champions 2025 reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris McDaniels, and follow me on all my social media accounts. I'll be down there in the description box, and I'll see you guys later for this Monday's Monday Night Raw reviews. See you guys later. Till then.